All right, so I want to take a minute, share some thoughts in reference to just all the euphoria and excitement right now in the markets, especially around the tariffs and the idea that it seems like every week or two there's some type of new tariff being imposed on some country that's not participating and going along with Donald Trump's agenda to put America first, according to what we've been told. But with today's announcement of the executive order, basically putting crypto center stage because it allows people to actually put it within their 401ks. I noticed the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum were up a little bit, and so just a lot of it, a lot of just energy being given towards the crypto space. And as a speculator, I understand, but then again, all this attention towards the digital space can really overshadow the importance of sound, true, tested wealth preservation in the form of gold and silver. And so, with this executive order, as I was reading through it, uh, the primary focus is allowing people, the 8 to 12 trillion, to have an allocation towards the digital space, private equity, and real estate. Those three were the primary focuses of the executive order. And my just thoughts was like, why not gold and silver as well? Why not allow people to deliberately place gold and silver outside of having to go through special financial brokers and things of that nature, people who specialize in putting gold and silver in IRAs and things like that? Why not make gold and silver a fourth or fifth option along with all this other stuff? And the answer is simple, because this whole executive order is being spurred on by the private equity side, the hedge funds, those companies that are underwater with all the products that they packaged together and they're not able to move them now. So they're in need of fresh capital. And what better capital move upon other than 401ks and 403bs and all the like? And so, because of all the digital euphoria in the markets right now, it's easy for people to neglect and dismiss the importance of precious metals. And so one of my purposes, I want to just share my thoughts on today's activity. I was looking at the silver price, and it's at 38.65 at the time of this video here. And I'm looking through X, just trying to get some sentiment here. And there's a lot of people talking about the importance of holding on, you know, the moving averages and all the TA stuff. And when it comes to trading, even with metals, people are excited about the idea of these small price movements so that they can get in and get out and make a couple crumbs here and there and just take advantage of the manipulation. And at some point, I can imagine for some it can be very discouraging because silver is not moving, even though gold has already reached an all-time high and is settled beneath that. But then again, it tells a true indication as to what's really going on. And ultimately, fiat currencies are failing fast, if I was to use that analogy. And so there's room for a variety of asset classes to move higher now. And I think this crypto stuff with this executive order is going to definitely do that. But one thing is important is to ignore the volatility with the metals and to establish a strategy that allows you to accumulate regardless of what the market does. And so for me personally, as a monetary enthusiast slash educator who, has dedicated a lot of time to trying to encourage people to think outside the box, as well as understand the importance of monetary literacy, which is basically this: understanding what money is before you actually get to the point of having to invest with your currency. And monetary literacy is simply understanding the history of what we call a dollar, how it was gold and silver backed, ratio, percentages, until it became fiat, aka digital credit, IOU nothings now. But for those who understand that, you realize there's a place in your portfolio where you yourself are responsible for taking a possession of that metal, putting it aside in however methods you use, whether it's in a bullion depository, in your possession, somewhere close, in a safe, in a vault, whatever. Just having your allocation to that space, because it is insurance ultimately against a failing fiat currency. But then most people don't know how or really have a strategy on how to accumulate incrementally without worrying about the volatility or just the price action in general. And that's where, for me personally, having formulated, a community of individuals that I am excited to always help, just because those are the people who realize the importance of being able to accumulate without worried about the price fluctuations. And that happens to be through the Quicksilver Wealth Accelerated Program. And, for those who may not know, it links in the description to get more information about the silver team. But ultimately what it does is allow people to accumulate silver primarily, but also some gold opportunities delivered to you monthly to where you don't have to worry about anything because it comes automatically. It's already, um, uh, I guess, more so chosen for you to where you'll get whatever it is you order, and you can do it from the smallest amount of weight all the way to their biggest package, which is 10 ounces a month delivered to you, and some very unique pieces that them in and of themselves will be of value in the future. So for me now, having been a part of the program for over a year and a half now, and literally, when prices were below 35 and but around 30ish, loving it, taking advantage of everything I could, getting the biggest package available as well as ordering stuff in between. And since then, downgraded some just because the price of silver is going up now, and because I've been in the game so long now, I believe that I'm in a decent enough position to where I'm not as concerned as the average person may be because of me already being aware of these situations beforehand. But point in case, for those who may not know, this is an opportunity for you to consider opportunities such as this where you can determine an ideal amount of weight that you would like to accumulate monthly, and then through becoming a member or a part of the team itself, you'll be able to get the education you need on how to do such, and then be able to set up a business model around it where you can help other people do the exact same thing. And in doing that, not only will you get your weight sent to you monthly, you'll help others do the same. And then for your efforts to try to be the bridge between the the individual themselves, which would be you, and the community that you're trying to serve, i.e., family, friends, whoever it might be, who need to be able to hold on to something physical and tangible in this world, you then will be rewarded. And some of the rewards comes with extra opportunities to earn discounted medals, or depending on the amount of people you serve, you can get the chance to get free medals. And so once again, I call it the complete silver cycle, where you can accumulate your own wealth, whatever weight is important to you, get educated on how to connect with other people to add value to them, and then three, get them set up on a similar format where they can then get involved, accumulate for themselves, and then help other people. Because at the end of the day, it does no good to accumulate all whatever assets is your favorite class when people around you are unaware and or deceived by what the mainstream media would have them believe is the real true deal. So the Quicksilver Wealth Accelerator Program is something that really excites me to be able to share this with you, because for the one or two people who this resonates with, you'll be able to dollar cost average on a monthly subscription base to accumulate your weight, not having to worry about the ebbs and flows of the markets, not having to worry about whatever the politicians say that day, whatever the stock market does, whatever crypto market does, because you've already determined ahead of time that you have a certain amount of weight that's coming to you no matter what. And that right there, my friends, is what I call diversified stability, in the sense that you have a weight, you got a price, it's coming, you're good. So once again, for those who may be interested, I'd encourage you to consider it, educate yourself on it, find out if it's something for you or not. And then once again, if it's not for you, perhaps somebody else might be a sound money enthusiast and either love the opportunity to collect for themselves, to save, and or to build an opportunity around it to be able to help others. Because at the end of the day, you get rewarded for the amount of value you help others receive. So just taking a minute, sharing my thoughts, encouraging people to continue to stack forward. Don't get caught up in all the hype. Don't get caught up in all the media euphoria on digital currency and stuff like that, because we know that's a part of a much bigger plan. And for those who have digital assets, this administration is going to make sure that they're going to be rewarded first with all the crypto stuff that they're setting up. And those who go along for the ride can be rewarded as well. But at the end of the day, you still want to be in a world where you're holding on to something physical. So just taking a minute, sharing my thoughts, curious to see what you think. If you found value, hit that thumbs up. Plan on doing more of these little quick takes. So definitely stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell so you'll be notified. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace.